in the heart of a lush wetland, where tall reeds swayed in harmony with the breeze, lived a unique and quirky stork named Stanley. While other storks were known for their solemn and serious demeanor, Stanley was different. He had a beak for comedy and a talent for making everyone around him burst into laughter. From a young age, Stanley had a natural flair for humor. He would mimic the sounds of the creatures around him, exaggerating their calls to create comical renditions that left his fellow storks in stitches. His beak was like a musical instrument, and he would play it with finesse, turning the wetland into an amphitheater of laughter. As Stanley grew older, he knew that he wanted to share his gift with a wider audience. He dreamt of becoming a stand-up comedian, but the idea of leaving the comfort of the wetland and venturing into the world beyond was daunting. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, a flock of migratory birds flew over the wetland. Among them was a wise old owl named Oliver, who had traveled far and wide and seen the world. Intrigued by Stanley's boisterous laughter, Oliver perched on a nearby tree branch and listened to the stork's comedic performance. Impressed by Stanley's talent, Oliver approached him after the show. "Stanley," the owl said, "your humor is a gift that should be shared with the world. Why don't you consider going on a journey beyond the wetland and pursuing your dream of becoming a stand-up comedian?" Stanley hesitated, the thought of leaving the familiar wetland filling him with anxiety. "But what if I fail, Oliver? What if the world doesn't find me funny?" Oliver blinked his wise eyes and replied, "Fear of failure is a part of every journey, my young friend. But remember, you have a beak for comedy, and your talent is one of a kind. There will be challenges, but there will also be laughter, joy, and the fulfillment of pursuing your passion." Encouraged by Oliver's words, Stanley mustered the courage to embark on his journey. With a heavy heart, he bid farewell to his wetland home and set forth into the world. Throughout his travels, Stanley encountered various animals from different walks of life. At first, he faced skepticism and doubt as his style of humor was unfamiliar to many. But he persisted, using his witty charm and infectious laughter to win hearts. As word spread about the stand-up stork, audiences grew, and Stanley found himself performing in bustling cities, charming rural villages, and even entertaining in grand palaces. His beak for comedy proved to be a universal language that transcended boundaries, cultures, and species. But amidst the applause and laughter, Stanley never forgot his roots. He would often take a moment to gaze at the starlit sky, recalling the wetland where his journey began. His heart swelled with gratitude for the wise old owl who had nudged him to follow his dream. With each performance, Stanley's confidence soared, and he realized that laughter was not just his gift to the world, but also his source of strength. He learned to embrace the challenges and to see the beauty in the diversity of the world. One day, as Stanley returned to the wetland after a successful tour, he was met with cheers and celebration from his fellow storks. They were proud of their stand-up stork, who had found his place in the world while never forgetting where he came from. And so, the wetland became a hub of laughter and joy, as creatures from all around gathered to listen to the stand-up stork's tales and jokes. Stanley, the hilarious bird with a beak for comedy, had found his purpose, spreading laughter far and wide, and his journey of following his passion had transformed the world around him into a brighter, happier place.